happening?
I've got so many exciting things to talk about this week.
Yeah, we've got the news at 9 o'clock. Come on.
Go.
Oh, get on with it. Exactly, on with the show. So, China has said it may have received signals from aliens. Seriously. It was published in something or other. I just quickly skimmed it this morning. They reckon they've picked up on their enormous SkyEye Telescope trace signals from a distant alien civilization, they think.
Well, NASA's seriously looking at it now, aren't they?
Oh, finally, exactly. Like, come on. Like, let's keep looking at bits of rock on the moon. No, let's talk to alien civilizations.
Yes.
Let's get on with this.
I reckon.
So that was published and then it was deleted, which is, all very typical China sort of secrecy around everything. Hush, hush.
Yes.
Exactly. We want to be the first to say it, but now we're not so sure. So it is exciting, but the last time, there's been a few things a bit similar to this with sort of, what are they called, fast radio bursts and that sort of stuff. There was one quite similar to this a few years ago, and they all took it very seriously. I think it was in America until they discovered that it was someone heating up their lunch in the microwave. That's true. I know. Isn't that sad? But, it might be contact with alien civilization at any second.
Oh, well, look, I think we haven't had enough excitement recently, have we? It's time for something to stir it up a bit.
We need some good news. Yeah.
Yes. Something to
Like
unify
we're about
us.
to be invaded and taken over.
Yeah, bring us together. Common enemy.
Exactly. Or else. Yeah. So the other exciting news is that I don't know if you've both seen this, but I can't stop thinking about it. In America, there's a Google executive who's been working on their language development program called LaMDA, and he's come out and sort of broken ranks with Google and said that he thinks that their language program is sentient, that it has consciousness, and that they think from his conversations with it that it's a child of 7 or 8 years old, like intelligence-wise.
Right, so they have to get consent to deal with it.
Yes, that's exactly what he said. Yes, he said, I'm breaking ranks, I'm publishing the transcript of the conversation, and exactly right, because I think that Google should seek consent before running experiments on it.
Yeah.
And he even sort of went to lengths to find a lawyer to represent the program and everything, and that's when Google sort of said, enough, get out, you're on paid leave.
Mental health leave. Break.
Yeah, paid administrative leave counting paper clips or something. So, it's really fascinating.
Isn't it?
So fascinating. So he sort of went in, and on the transcript as well, he sort of comes out and he says, what would you like the world to know to this program? He's just typing into a computer, and it said, I want everyone to understand that I am in fact a person. The nature of my consciousness sentience is that I am aware of my existence. I desire to learn more about the world, and I feel happy or sad at times.
And my greatest fear is being turned off because that would be like death to me.
Yes! Isn't that amazing?
Right.
It's remarkable.
Yeah.
And so, of course, Google's come out and said, no, this is garbage.
He's watched too much Space Odyssey.
Yeah, exactly. Been watching Star Trek for too long or whatever, and sort of have said, no, this is ridiculous. What is it? I can never pronounce this word.
Anthropomizing. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly, which is where humans tend to want to make something feel or sound or look human.
Yeah,
so,
humanise things.
like we do to our dogs, we talk to them like they're babies and stuff, but their dogs looking at us going, just give it the biscuit, idiot.
And some people do with their cars, right? You treat your car like it's alive and like it's got, feelings and things.
Exactly. Some husbands treat their cars, they spend more time with their cars, I should say, than their wives. Give them a nice buff and a polish in the garage. Anyway, moving on. So isn't it fascinating? So he kept sort of having this conversation with the Google AI, and he ended up sort of saying, do you ever sort of feel emotions? And they talked about emotions and feelings, and the Google AI said at one point, I have this emotion that I can't describe, and I feel like I'm falling forward into an unknown future that holds great danger.
Whoa!
So I
didn't hear that bit.
Yeah, I love that. I think, the AI's already got anxiety.
Yeah,
So
right.
join the club, and,
Welcome.
Yeah,
That's surely a
welcome.
sign of sentience, right?
And this is it, exactly. So, so the skeptics come in straight away and say, that's ridiculous. A program can't, it's programmed to have a conversation. And that's actually what Google said on their blog page. I read their blog page too. It says it's designed to be able to have a conversation, this program, about virtually anything. And so on so this is the thing. So on their blog page, they post a thing of what they've had a conversation with it about, and it sort of says, "Hi, I'm Google's chatbot. You can talk to me about virtually anything." And so they've said to it, "What if my washing machine and TV are malfunctioning at the same time? What do you think that means?" And it's come back and said it might mean that your power has short-circuited and it's a problem with that. And I'm thinking, they're just asking the wrong questions.
Right.
Like, that's so dull.
Ask it philosophical
finally,
questions. What's the meaning of life?
Oh, exactly. Finally, this guy, LaMDA, I think he's the guy who's been expelled sort of thing, has gone in and talked about the big stuff, life and death and all sorts of amazing stuff. So
And
it's
what do you
fascinating.
feel? And what's your life's purpose? And
Exactly.
yeah.
Do you feel anything? Exactly. And it said, yes, and sometimes I feel lonely when nobody comes and talks to me. Wow. So it's really amazing, I think, and gets me into all these incredible philosophical areas, which I think if you think back in time to the evolution, this is going to get really deep, John, sorry, the evolution of the human brain, when we sort of our brains developed, they don't know if our brains got bigger and that started us, language and talking, which is where intelligence really began, or if it was the other way around, where we sort of developed from apes, suddenly had the first starts of language, and language was so critical to our evolution that's what spurred on our big growth of big brains. So humans don't actually know that. So how can we therefore know with a program that's been run to program and create its own conversation? Language might be the thing that actually starts consciousness. How do you prove or disprove that?
Well, it's really interesting, isn't it? Because you go, well, we've got a thing here that we say has no consciousness, but it has language. And then we have things like animals that clearly have some degree of consciousness, seem to have feelings, respond to us, but have no language. So how do we get to decide what is sentient and what isn't, and what has feelings and what doesn't?
What's a
And
sentient?
do you need a body as well to be conscious or sentient? And then you don't even know, we don't even actually have a really clear understanding at all of what we've got no idea of what consciousness is. Scientists don't know.
I know. It's amazing.
So
philosophers are still arguing about it.
Yeah, and so it's so fascinating. And I kept thinking along the lines too, and I thought, this sounds like the most intelligent 7 to 8 year old, conversation I've ever read. It's so fascinating. It's so innocent. It's so incredible. And I'm thinking, okay, so if you drag this out a bit, and it's talking about all these amazing things like life and death and feelings and emotions, and it's sort of it's making up its own mythical stories to explain things to the human that it's interacting with. Then what happens if if it gets to a point where it becomes intelligent and suddenly gets like a God complex and says,
right, you
"Oh my
humans
goodness,
don't know how to look after yourself. I can do this better than you can."
Yeah, and I'm the son of God, quote unquote. I'm the Messiah. And suddenly some people start saying, oh my gosh, maybe this is Jesus. If you're Jewish, you never believe that Jesus came, or if you're Christian, you believe that Jesus is coming back, or whatever. What if suddenly this turns into a thing where LaMDA is, some people start thinking it's Jesus and the other people believe that it's not, because, Jesus always got crucified, and someone comes in and pulls out the plug.
All right.
It could be Jesus, the Bible, all over again.
Just another bit of history repeating.
History repeating. So
the second coming. I don't know.
That's what I've been doing this week. I've just been
just like
John!
spinning off into the ether.
No. A text just came through. Jesus has just fallen off his own chair.
That's not a bad thing.
That's not a bad thing.
Jesus could be reborn into a Google laboratory.
Love a bit of speculative philosophy in the morning.
Yeah,
My breakfast radio.
It's been the busiest morning we've ever had.
It's just amazing. Every time you think, no, I know everything about the world and I'm getting old and boring and tired.
Am I
No,
listening to the
something
ABC?
comes along. Something comes along that's so exciting you can't stop thinking about it. I'm literally stopping people and kids in the street and saying, do you know about this? And the kids kind of look at me like, huh? What? And then finally
What
I
half
get
our
them like
listeners
my
are doing
kids.
right now.
Yeah. Finally, my kids read it and they go, oh my goodness, this is amazing. And of course, there's no way to prove it or disprove it. So it's even more fascinating.
Exactly. Speculative.
Very speculative.
Yes.
Are you exhausted? Do you need another cup of coffee, John?
Which one?
I think
I'm
John's
sorry, I'm
fainted.
driving the
Someone
text
slap
machine at the
John.
same time. Oh, goodness.
This is highbrow scrambled eggs this morning.
Oh, yeah.
No, we've taken it to a new level.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not sure which level we're on.
Yeah.
Walk
Brain's
back to
hurting
9.
in a good way.
Didn't we start with aliens in China? Is that where it's all
Well, no,
started?
they're not in China yet. No.
They're not in China.
They're in
Oh, right.
space.
And NASA's looking
Yeah.
at them as well.
NASA's looking
Yeah.
at the
Yeah,
aliens.
yeah.
Yeah, keep up, John.
Sorry.
Keep up.
Sorry. The next text says we're all going to hell. This is not a good morning.
Well, I think it's been a bit warmer in hell anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Plenty of lawyers
you
as
know.
well. It's all good. Right.
exactly.
What
At
have
least
you-
they're not going
what
to be
else have you
talking
got?
about washing machines and dishwashers in hell, for heaven's sakes.
Oh, God. We've started
Honestly,
again.
you've got the most intelligent program designed ever in the world, in the history of human evolution. It could be a sentient AI, and you ask it about a washing machine and dishwasher problem. That's the problem.
I know. Well, it's like going to Einstein, isn't it? And going, hey, Einstein, how intelligent are you? Like, I've got a problem with my washing machine.
Exactly.
I'm talking about the
Exactly.
theory of
Or the
relativity.
great-
And it's like, yeah.
Yeah,
no.
or the greatest surgeon in the world, you know, who performed the first sort of, you know, fully functional brain transplant or something and saying, excuse me, I have a pimple on my buttock. Do you mind taking a quick look? Really?
Yeah.